What completely legal things, when done in public, make you look like a psychopath? Digging at night. Oh, what that is. That's just my Halloween decoration. Sir, it is November. We've had one, yes. What about second Halloween? Not swinging your arms when you walk. I used to freak my coworker out by just swinging my arms together. It's the little things. Oddly enough, I do this involuntarily from time to time. When entering an elevator, don't turn back around to face the exit. Yay, this makes everyone else in the elevator really uncomfortable. Farting also does the trick. Farting also does the trick. While staring really intense at someone in the elevator. Asserting dominance. Or rather, asserting dominance. Talking Alanito yourself. I do it sometimes when alone, but it makes you look like a crazy person if you do it in public. Lock-picking the door to your own house because you've lost your key. Did that a few years ago at my old apartment, a few times actually. Then the hair salon downstairs was broken into one night, back door had the lock picked. I then quickly became the prime suspect. Luckily I was in the next state that night due to a morning funeral, got there a day early because I wasn't going to be a pallbearer right after a 4-hour drive. Believe it or not, caskets are ducking heavy. You know what else is heavy? The weight of guilt on your soul for breaking into that salon. 4 hours drive, PFFT, we know you can make it in 2, we know you did it. Confess. 28 stab wounds. Why don't you just confess? Staring at somebody with direct eye contact and not saying anything. Spend a day in any Egyptian city and watch pretty much every person stare endlessly like it's nothing. Or go to a small town in Poland. People notice you're not from here and stare at you like you wanted to burn down their house. Going through a town in Poland feels like being a protagonist of a western riding in the town while all the folks stop what they were doing and stare at you. You'd stare too if some random rode into your town on a horse in 2020. Asking a person for directions like which way is the forest? And then going the completely opposite direction. Running the completely opposite direction. I have to do this. As I learned in middle school, just breaking up laughing at something funny you thought about. My mom once thought I was having a mental breakdown because I just started laughing super hard at a joke I thought of in my head, and I was laughing so hard I couldn't explain why I was laughing. And then her concern just made me laugh even harder, and I just laughed for about 10 minutes before calming down. That's a huge ass laugh. What the duck? Why is it so popular? Ironing in the front yard in your bathrobe. My mom legit started vacuuming the lawn one day when I was in high school. This sounds like the beginning of a bad flashback. It all started when I was a little boy. I was walking home from school with a couple of friends. They thought I was cool. But then my mother steps out of the house, and you know what she does, Perry the platypus? She vacuums our lawn. What kind of madman would do such a thing? Anywho, my friends all laughed at me and never talked to me again. That is why I created this. Behold. The Soul Vacuuminator. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Perry the platypus, ooh doofenshmirtz, what does this inator do? Well, I'm glad you asked, Perry the platypus. With this inator, I'll be able to suck all the souls of the tri-state area. Leaving everyone, besides me, zombie-like. Leaving me the only one capable of ruling the tri-state area. There, doof. There. Walk into any store and just lay down. If anyone asks if you need help, tell them you're fine. Then, after a minute or so, stand up and go about your business. I once did this at a 7-Eleven-like store, but it was because my blood pressure was going low. I started feeling dizzy and, since my parents and a lot of my family are doctors, I knew I had to lay down and raise my legs to prevent myself from passing out. I did that. I was embarrassed to admit to anyone what was happening, and I didn't want to cause a scene or draw too much attention, so once I felt better I left the store and called my parents so they could pick me up. But in the eyes of the clerks and other people there, a random guy just entered the store, dropped to the floor, raised his legs, and after a few minutes, got up and left without buying anything. Thanks for sharing made me lol. Walking around drinking a glass of water from home. This is awesome. It's so subtle but really weird. If you get used to doing it, it can turn so much weirder really easily as well. My Saturn's cup holder was a little too loose for a Coke can, way too loose for a bottle, and too tight for the big cups you normally use in a car, but it perfectly fit a 12 ounces double-walled tumbler, or whatever you call those really thick plastic cups, like unless it was filled to the brim it would never spill because it literally couldn't joggle. So on more than one occasion I would show up to someone's house with a glass of juice or soda in my hand without even thinking about it looking like I just came from their kitchen. It always led to some of the weirdest looks you've ever seen. Friend shows up at your door with a can of Coke in his hand? Perfectly normal. Friend shows up at your door with a glass of milk? Really ducking strange. Double standards, I tell you. Taking your belt off, putting it in your pocket bag and continuing. I have social anxiety and honestly, I might start trying some of these for exposure. Well, you're gonna be exposed if your pants fall off. So, it would work. Kinda. There was an IDA post a few months ago about a dude who was drinking straight coffee creamer walking down the sidewalk. Edit. Thank you for the awards. Keep a grin on your face while maintaining eye contact, freaks people the hell out. And whisper soon. Edit. Thanks for the awards. Add-on, they'll never know what hit M. Preface everything you say with in accordance with the prophecy. Stop mid-walk and turn around. For some reason it doesn't feel right when I'm doing it. I go for runs and being in Florida. It's pretty common. But I've ran a mile away from my house, I run back so I get 2 miles in. But the 1 mile mark is just a sidewalk, Terry's no left or right for at least another half mile. So I literally just stop, turn around and start running back from which I came. But whenever Terry's someone running behind me or someone running in my direction, I just stand there and pretend I'm tired and wait for them to leave. It feels weird to just turn around for no apparent reason when people are around. I feel like it comes from the subconscious tendency to not want people to see when you've made a mistake. And when you turn around mid-walk, our brains decide everyone around is thinking, oh look at that dumbass, they went the wrong way. Yeah, that's why I always stare at the screen of my phone for a few moments and visibly curse before turning around and leaving. I hope people will think, oh, I guess something important happened and he has to return. Definitely doesn't look like a dumbass who went the wrong way. Brushing your teeth. Just straight up brushing your teeth in the street. I was in a Costco, and this random old man came up and talked to me, proceeded to tell me he was a retired dentist, and pulled a toothbrush out of his pocket. Always got it on me. He also didn't seem fully there since he asked if I, 14-year-old girl with braces, was married to the person I was shopping with. The person was my cousin, who's like 20 years older, and we were surrounded by his children, which I was obviously too young to have produced. He was one of the 9 dentists who recommend that toothbrush. Empty a chocolate sauce bottle and use it as a water bottle in the gym. Maple syrup and ranch are also valid choices. Sitting on the steps of an escalator. Edit. I now know that this is dangerous, and thanks for 8K of y'all for upvoting. Using an escalator as a stairmaster. That might be legal, but it's definitely against mall store policy. It's fine to carry around human bones, legal specimens, in creepy-looking boxes. Everyone in my anatomy class was given a box and we took public transit with it while smelling like death. You could literally see creepy people on the bus move slowly away from us. That sounds like a good defense mechanism. Women who have to walk alone at night should just carry boxes of legal specimens. No one wants to rape the bone lady. There's a guy in my town that has a portable karaoke and casually walks around singing to himself and dancing. He's not a busker or entertainer, just in another world.